now.
Sure. Yeah, and if they do, that's their right. That could be one outcome. It could be that this goes through and the league says we're taking a third rounder from Vegas in 2026.
Yeah.
I don't know, and even Nick Waugh, I'd like at least to have him over getting nothing for Marner. It'd be nice. It'd be a nice addition. But the stakes don't feel that high. Nobody's getting kicked out of the league here, right?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the league has not heard a word from anybody on this. And they don't plan on doing anything unless someone makes a formal complaint.
And that is not the way it should be.
There is a sense that the Leafs have not been aggressive to the league. I'm hearing that they're not even aggressive to Vegas with the thought of this.
Good.
So it's just mere speculation. It could just go away like that, and the trade with Nick Waugh could still happen, or maybe could have thrown a curveball in. To be determined right now.
Yeah, kind of running out of time. Free agency's in, what is it? Tomorrow at noon, roughly? That's, we're kind of running out of time to do anything.
I think in a perfect world, like Vegas would like an 8-year deal. There was some talk about.
I saw 4.
He's not doing 4.
Yeah.
Seriously, he's been through. He wants to go do this again in 4 years and find another place. And no, I think we're going to just see. This is my best guess, is that we will see if everything goes through and he gets his 8 years. I think you'll see a contract matchup just like Rantanen's.
Is that 100 mil?
12.
12 times 8. And then you factor in the taxes, and then you could say that was your 13-5 in Toronto, or 14, or whatever you want to justify it. But
yeah, give Vegas credit. I got to tell you, I love Vegas. Since they've come in the league, they've mattered. They've been relevant. They've won a cup. They've been to a cup final. Fans like to go there and watch games. They continue to be aggressive. Players want to play there. They're not a non-factor in the NHL. They've been a really interesting franchise. Give them a lot of credit.
Yeah. Still a lot of talk about Petrangelo's future there. No question he's going to go on long-term IR. I keep hearing he may need corrective hip surgery.
Yeah.
To the point where he may have to make a hard decision on, does he want to have maybe this surgery or multiple surgeries to try to hang on to his career, or does he retire?
First thing I'd like to do is formally apologize to him during the Four Nations face-off time when he took the break, and I think I was pretty hard on him, being like, who needs this guy? I mean, he's obviously really going through it here. This is potentially career-threatening.
But at the time, and I was part of it too, but at the time he was playing.
Yeah,
right?
well, that's
so
why it felt like
you're
he was
impossible to know. You played, after the day he said that he had an ailment, he played 25 minutes that night.
Yeah.
So it's okay, well, but now, obviously, in retrospect, it looks mean, but, at the time, it was...
I remember you two being very mean, and that was actually really nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're great.
Yeah, I remember
you're
that
great.
too.
Okay.
So, finish off, what do you think the chances are of a Nick Waugh landing in Toronto?
50-50 right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there might be a part of, and George McPhee and
staying in Florida from Elliott.
McPhee and Kelly McCrimmon, I don't know. I mean, they're pretty tough guys. If they feel like they've been bullied a little bit here with that report, maybe they turn around and pull Nick Waugh off the table and just say, you know what, we'll maybe sign Mitch to 7 years, and you guys get nothing. We'll have to wait and see.
Maybe they will.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so to go along with that, so Marner is out. And this is the one perk. Obviously, losing Mitch Marner, not a good thing for any hockey team. But what is fun now is that there's other things you can do with the money. And there's no guarantee you do it better, but it is fun looking at the roster now. Nyes and Tavares signing for very similar cap hits to last season combined, which is interesting. And now you can bring in a guy like Michelli. First off, the Nyes thing. Let's start with that cap hit. What do you think of that contract?
Excellent. I do believe he left some money on the table.
Oh, really?
I do, yeah. I think realistically, he could have had something north of 8 for 6 years.
Yeah.
I think he gave him a bit of a break. Maybe he gave him $250,000 a year, maybe
Sure.
even 400,000. But it's a contract that probably compares to others that have stepped up into that realm.
Yeah.
But with the cap going up, he could have asked for new money coming in, but he didn't. And that, again, is his choice. I think in 6 years, it'll be next to nothing.
Oh my God! In 6 years, like it's the equivalent of a $5 million
Yeah.
contract today.
Yeah.
You know, and this guy is 22 years old, coming
Yeah.
up on 23. And you know, I saw some people comparing his contract to like what Petrangelo just signed in Utah. His was similar, but Nyes has that other element of also having the opportunity to be a power forward and be physical, and it's a great contract.
I will say it's really awesome that on the locker cleanout day, forget who it was that was grinding him a bit down there, being like, hey, like, would you sign an offer sheet? Would you sign an offer sheet? And he's like, I want to be here in Toronto. I want to be here in Toronto. I love it here. I want to be in Toronto.
Yeah.
And then have it not even get to July 1st and not much, like there wasn't much, stuff in the media about it. Like, you see a couple things floated, but nothing serious that he wants this much money or whatever. And he just signs for a reasonable number for a reasonable amount of years for a guy that's like, honestly improves every game. Like every game I watch him, I feel like he gets better. It's a really refreshing change of pace than the usual fist fight for every contract that they have in this market. So it's nice. I'm really impressed that he signed that contract. Really.
Yeah. No, that's great. And then now,
Can he get as early as next year to a point-a-game player?
I don't think it's out of the question. I would say he comes in under, but like if he comes in with 70 points in 80 games and throws 100 and some hits, and fights twice or something, I think we're going. That'll do.
Yep.
I'd like to see who is on that line alongside what we assume is Austin Matthews, and is it Michelli?
Yeah. This is an interesting one. I am curious to know your thoughts on this. 5'11" pass first guy who had 18 points last year.
This is in ruins that he didn't make this trade, by the way.
You know what my first thought is? He's a playmaker, and I like that.
Yeah.
I don't see, and you know how I feel about Matthews and Tavares, that they're goal
Fighting to
scorers.
shoot the puck.
They're fighting to shoot the puck. They're hanging around the net. They're not making the plays. That was always Marner's responsibility. And even is he going to get the chance to be that guy? It's a long shot to replace Marner with
No.
a third round trade.